How do we ensure that the services and the programs that we offer are exactly the ones that the students wanted to do? And through that entire year, we literally engaged thousands of people, students and staff and faculty, people from industry, and the whole college community was really engaged on trying to establish what services and what programs were in demand by the students. It was very successful. We were able to determine a number of programs that we could invest more money in, to launch new programs to better serve the students, and it also had us examine those programs and services that were not in demand, and it allowed us to get out of some of the activities and reinvest scarce resources. Like year one, we're now in a much stronger place to look at what it is that we do from a student's perspective, from a services viewpoint. It changed the way that we're doing our work. It's allowed our staff and faculty to look differently at what it is that we're doing in a more coherent manner, that they're looking across the college as opposed to in just their area. And the successes that we have seen are measurable, and they have been able to connect our staff in finding solutions that we hadn't been able to do before. So really tangible outcomes. The second outcome that we've been able to achieve is it's starting to become the way we do business at Algonquin College. People are simply looking at things differently, and they now realize that we must commit to continuous improvement on a regular part of what it is that we do at the college, so that the reality is that we have more scarce resources. The expectations of students are increasing, and we have to be a lot more sharp at what it is that we're doing. The SPSP process has given us a framework to do that in a rational, clear, transparent way that allow our faculty and staff to be involved. And in the end, I think our students will be the benefactors of that. And it would allow the college to be simply more effective and more efficient in what it is that we do here. One of the things that I think that we have done right is we have said this can't be done in isolation. We need it to be open and as transparent as possible throughout the entire process. The college community stepped forward and said, I want to participate. And that really has allowed us to move this forward, because what we're doing is not easy, and it's not clear all the time of how to set these things forward to make them most effective. We need to ensure that we get all the ideas from the entire community. Anyone who wants to participate needs to be able to find a way to paint themselves into the picture, the SPSP set of solutions. One of the most important things that we can do going forward is to continue to commit to our staff and faculty that this is a college solution, that we need to hear from all staff, part-time and full-time, and we need to continue to commit to find ways to allow them to participate. So what I would ask the staff and faculty and administration of the college is to find ways to come forward with their ideas. We'll put together ways for that to happen in a more formal way, but they need to know that they can play a role, that we want them to play a role, and only with everyone's engagement are we going to be able to continue to move this forward. It will continue. I can predict in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years that this will simply become part of the way we do things at Algonquin, and what I can commit is that it will remain open, and we will remain committed to allow and ensure that we find ways for staff and faculty. So when you're asked to participate, we recognize this is just one more thing on top of a busy schedule, but we need everyone's input, and we'll find ways to make that happen. In our initial preparation of this project, we soon realized that few colleges and universities had made a commitment like what we had made. We had to create a made in Algonquin solution. We've been able to do that. This process has caught the attention of a number of people in Canada and in the United States. Articles from Chronicle of Higher Education to Harvard University writing a case study on us. So we know that we've been doing something neat here, and the number of people certainly that have come to the college who have asked us how might we do this. I think other institutions are realizing that we just simply can't continue to do the way things that we've been doing for years, and we've got some good practices to share. I believe as a public institution we need to share those with other colleges, and over the last year certainly I've heard of other institutions also wanting to do this, from big public well-known institutions in the States to smaller colleges here in Canada. But we'll remain committed to sharing what we've learned from this, and hopefully as other people try to experiment in this area, we'll be able to continue to learn from them as well.